Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Monday, 5th May 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. A new cabinet sworn in on Saturday in Trinidad and Tobago. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. New faces and new portfolios as the United National Congress government is sworn into office. More in this report by Karen Cozier-Phillip of TTT News.
Attorney at Law Devesh Maraj has been appointed Minister of Justice and Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General. Michelle Benjamin is the new Minister of Culture and Community Development. Wayne Sturge is the Minister of Defense, while Dr. Michael Dowlath is the Minister of Education. Dr. Rudal Munilal has been appointed Minister of Energy and Energy Industries. He will have Ernesto Kiza as a minister in his ministry. Devendranath Tanku is the new Minister of Finance, while Sean Sobers is the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. The Minister of Health is Dr. Lakram Bodo, and Roger Alexander will head the Ministry of Homeland Security. Dr. David Lee is the Minister of Housing. Trade unionist Senator Leroy Batiste is the Minister of Labor, Small and Micro Enterprises. Saddam Hussein is the Minister of Legal Affairs and a Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. The new Minister of Public Utilities is Barry Padarat, while Vandana Mohit is the Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services. Kennedy Swarat Singh is the Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development. And Dominic Smith is the Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence. The Minister of Rural Development and Local Government is Khadija Amin, while Philip Watts is the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs. And Senator Prakash Prasad is the Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training. Senator Eliza Kaur is the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, while the Minister of Works and Infrastructure is Jerlene John. And Senator Ravi Ratiram is the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Several parliamentary secretaries were also appointed.
Everything is going to be all right. That's the message from Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar, SC, as she officially took the oath of office on Thursday afternoon in Port of Spain. TTT News has more.
During her first speech as Prime Minister for a second term, Kamla Prasad Bisesar assured that following the general election, supporters of all the various parties would be treated equally and fairly. She reiterated the campaign slogan of the United National Congress that everybody wins.
I made a promise that everybody will win, and I plan to fulfill that promise. On Saturday, we will swear in our full cabinet, and next week we will outline our plans for the coming months. 6 months from today, under a new UNC government, you will be in a safer and happier place in TNT. You will see what happens when a government cares.
She said the next 5 years would be rebuilding hope and dignity, noting that her plan is to rebuild the economy, diversify revenue streams, and renew hope. But the Prime Minister had a stern message to her incoming MPs and ministers.
Treat the citizens with love. I will reflect that love onto you. However, when I say this to my incoming government members, however, if you treat citizens with callousness, contempt, and corrupt ways, I guarantee you, your retribution will be swift and brutal. Never, ever mistake my physical appearance or my kindness for weakness. I think you all know there is nothing more dangerous than a mother who believes her children are in danger. Everyone would be wise to remember that for the next 5 years.
In other news, despite growing concerns about the weakening of the US dollar due to global economic challenges, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has expressed confidence in the stability of the Eastern Caribbean EC dollar. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline reports.
Rodrigo Valdez, head of the IMF's Western Hemisphere Department, affirmed that the EC dollar remains well supported by strong foreign exchange reserves, which are expected to cushion the region's currency from external shocks.
We are not worried at all about the peg in the ECU. They have a very good ratio in reserves to money. It's important to keep consistent policies for that.
Just weeks ago, the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antwine, also reassured the public that the Eastern Caribbean dollar remains on solid footing.
So all this speculation about the devaluation of the EC dollar, that's one thing you do not have to worry about. The other things we have to worry about, that is not one. Our confidence in this assertion is predicated on ECCB's long-standing conservative policy of maintaining high stocks of foreign reserves. For us, we've long believed that our conservative approach provides a bulwark of resilience for small, hyper-open economies and is a veritable insurance policy to help protect our regions in times of shocks.
Meanwhile, Mr. Valdez also addressed questions about how Caribbean economies, particularly those reliant on tourism, can navigate increasing U.S. tariffs.
First, of course, tariffs and the global cycle is a headwind for tourism in the Caribbean. So what to do with this? Basically, we think that it's very important to keep the macroeconomy as stable as possible. And that means that countries which have a lot of homework in terms of rebuilding fiscal space, they have to continue doing it. The risks of not doing that is to face at the end a disorderly macroeconomy. And that, at the end of the day, is much worse. We have to recognize that it may be raining, but it's reality. It's reality that we will have this cycle. Now, the data we have seen, and the authorities' view on the same, is that tourism is usually make reservations in advance, no? And we haven't seen yet a change or cancellations of the size that could produce big problems.
The IMF is forecasting a modest slowdown in economic growth for Latin America and the Caribbean, with regional growth projected to dip from 2.4% in 2024 to 2% in 2025. However, Mr. Valdez noted that growth is expected to rebound to 2.4% in the following year.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda says its latest crime statistics are showing a reduction in reported crimes so far in 2025 compared with the same period last year. The update was provided during a news conference at the police's headquarters in St. John's on Wednesday afternoon. ABS's Kim Emmanuel Baird reports.
Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department, Clifton Cabral, says there has been a noticeable decline in crimes reported so far for 2025 in comparison to the corresponding period last year.
At this stage, we have 1,232 cases reported to the police of crime. This year so far, the same comparison, 996. So we see a decline in all areas.
Cabral breaks down the numbers in the types of crimes reported while making the comparison to 2024.
Last year, we have a total of 57 robberies this year, both aggravated robbery, which means we're aggravated with violence, and ordinary robberies. And this year, we have a total of 47. So we have breaking and larceny, house breaking and building breaking and larceny. You have 220 this year. We have 286 last year.
Acting Commissioner of Police Everton Jeffers attributes this decline to new crime-fighting strategies recently implemented by the Royal Police Force.
My team got together and we came up with some strategies, and we basically used the freeze, unfreeze, refreeze technique. And so we're seeing the result of the patrols being more strategic than before.
Jeffers adds the public has been seeing more police presence around the island, even on beaches during public holidays. He further thanks the public for their invaluable assistance in helping with information that leads to solving crimes and capturing culprits. For ABS News, this is Kim Emmanuel Beard reporting.
Over now to Georgetown, Guyana, where Venezuela has accused the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, of being influenced by anti-Venezuelan corporate interests, and reiterated that the 1966 Geneva Agreement is the only valid path to resolve the long-standing border dispute with Guyana. Despite the ICJ's clear ruling, Caracas calls for a return to bilateral negotiations, a move Guyana has outrightly rejected. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News has the details.
In response, Guyana's agent to the ICJ, Carl Greenidge, told this newscast that jurisdiction is not Venezuela's decision to make.
Venezuela is a member of the United Nations, and once you are a member of the United Nations and a court case arises at the ICJ which involves you, the court has a process by which it goes through to establish whether or not it can have jurisdiction.
Greenidge added that Venezuela is bounded by the 1966 Geneva Agreement and cannot selectively disregard it.
The International Court of Justice has looked at this complaint by Venezuela, suggesting that the court didn't have jurisdiction, and it has dismissed it.
He also dismissed President Nicolas Maduro's call for bilateral negotiations, calling it misleading.
And trying to rewrite the history and claim that you are a victim is really not going to prevent them dealing with the consequences of the court's decision.
Venezuela has scheduled regional elections in the disputed Essequibo region for May 25, 2025, despite the ICJ's ruling. In a statement on Friday, Guyana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it expects Venezuela to act responsibly and comply with the court's binding decision issued on December 1, 2023 and May 1, 2025. Guyana also reaffirmed it will not engage in bilateral talks over Venezuela's claim of nullity of the 1899 arbitral award, which underpins Venezuela's claim to nearly two-thirds of Guyana's territory. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.